Alright, what's going on, guys? Hope you all are having a good day. So we have a lot to unpack in this video. We're going to be discussing a lot of the new changes that will be coming with Cold War Zombies, tons of new content that we should be expecting in Season 3 Reloaded and even beyond. We've got some new perks to discuss and how they might function in-game. We have new maps that we need to talk about, as well as Outbreak changes, and also going to be talking about why a second year of Zombies content for Cold War gets more and more likely every single day. So don't worry, sit back, relax. We're going to go over this in a very clear and concise manner. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then all I ask in return is a like rating. If you are brand new and enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe. That would be amazing. We are on the road to 500,000. So when Season 3 initially came out, at least in the Zombies community, there were somewhat mixed reviews on the quality and volume of the content, and you could debate whether the Outbreak changes were a meaningful addition or not. Some people are wanting round-based maps right now, but regardless, we do know that we have some content we talked about before that didn't make it exactly with the release of Season 3, and specifically some of those things are not only the main Easter egg for Outbreak, which we will be getting this season, but also the new wonder weapons that are supposedly going to be in that mode. Everyone who's been paying attention to Zombies recently, most of you will know that there was a basically wonder weapon type discovered called the Mega Barrel, and I showed you guys kind of what it looks like and how it performs, but I didn't really delve into the exact specifics of it. But yeah, as it appears, it's not just a singular wonder weapon, as it is a class in and of itself, and based on what we know about it from the, gameplay clips that we've seen, but also the intel in-game, it suggests that these Mega Barrels will be upgradable, probably in Outbreak or the Berlin map, but what they're going to do is fire the projectiles of other enemies. So for example, I believe one of the Mega Barrels will fire Megaton shots, the other one is going to shoot Tempest bolts, and the other one will fire Mangler shots, and there could be a fourth with an enemy that we do currently not yet know about. But with these Mega Barrels and the subsequent upgrades to them, kind of think of them, I guess, like the Die Shockwaves and all of the elemental types like it, but instead of just being like random generic elements, you are actually able to turn the enemy's weapon right back at them. There's intel in game where Ravenov even suggests that he's holding Tempest in order to essentially utilize their, lightning bolts that they fire. And because of this, I would even go so far as to say this is going to be tied to the main Easter egg of Outbreak. These are probably going to be very much like D Machine's quest, where you need to get the elementals in order to do the steps. That only makes sense as these weren't just added randomly into the previous Season 3 update with Duga. If these wonder weapons were entirely unrelated to the Easter egg, I feel like they would have been added in already, but if they're a fundamental part of it, then these are going to be added a little bit later this season along with the main quest, so I'm pretty excited for that. And speaking of the die upgrades, of course, those were added into the game in Outbreak already. There are literal crates around each individual map that if you have the Shockwave, you can go up to and fully upgrade. There's even been the Circuit's Kiss from 9 somehow implemented into this game. It doesn't belong here in Cold War, obviously, but we know that the asset, or at least that base, thing is there. We could see some of these things reutilized or repurposed somehow for future Cold War wonder weapons or even just other assets. So I would say a lot of that stuff is guaranteed to be seen later on this season at some point, whether it's with Season 3 Reloaded or maybe a mini update in between. We will be seeing a big release of this content quite shortly. Now next, I want to discuss new perks, because this is always a fairly exciting subject for the community. It's always very entertaining getting new perks, but we haven't seen anything brand new or really heard about any official perk from Treyarch since Tombstone that released, pretty much back in Season 1. It's weird because Tombstone was the last perk anybody expected to be added to this game. Genuinely, I was shocked when I saw it that they were going to be, announcing that and releasing it as their first perk. But there was also ones leaked before the game that specifically I want to hone in on, and that's Double Tap. I believe the first ever rumors for Cold War were suggesting that Double Tap was going to be a part of the base game, but obviously we don't have it in any way, shape, or form. But if Double Tap gets added in its current form, whether it's Double Tap 1 or 2.0, it definitely has some concerns. Now, for those people who are relatively new Zombies players and maybe haven't fully utilized these perks in previous games, I'm going to explain how they work. There was original Double Tap and then Double Tap 2.0 that came out with Black Ops 2, and there's a fundamental difference with each perk. The original Double Tap just made you shoot 2 times faster. It did not increase your damage at all. It didn't split your bullets. It just made you dump ammo out twice as fast. Double Tap 2.0, on the other hand, doubled your damage and split your bullet into 2 separate projectiles. This made things like SMGs and sniper rifles significantly more effective, even shotguns. Now, I do think that Double Tap 2.0 in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, based on the current systems that it has with Pack-a-Punch and rarity and things like that, would completely break this game. I could see Double Tap 1.0 working fine, but Double Tap 2.0 2.0, I just don't literally see them adding that without any changes. Currently, the speculation is double tap is going to be added with the Berlin map when that does release, and if that is the case, I really do think that it's going to be original double tap that gets added, and potentially in its upgrade tree, it could become something along the lines of double tap 2.0, because again, you have to think about it's not just the base perk, but it needs an entire upgrade tree. If double tap never actually releases in the game, I could see them working the effects of double tap into something like speed cola. Regardless of what happens with double tap, there is also some information that they're working on completely brand new perks as well. Some will be re-implemented from previous games, but just like elemental pop, they are working on some new ones that we just don't even know about currently. And I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but PhD Flopper was also rumored to be added in Cold War, but again, I don't see this one being added as a standalone perk. I can see the effects of PhD being worked into something like Juggernog. You might be thinking, well, clearly it's not because we have the full upgrade tree of Juggernog already, but I don't believe that to be the case either, and I'll talk about that in a second. But just generally, I would love to know what you guys think about getting new perks, you know, specifically double tap and PhD. Do you think those are good ideas or not, or would you like to see entirely brand new perks? Now, to quickly update you guys on the Berlin map situation, the next round-based map in Cold War, a lot of people are wondering, you know, why didn't this release with Season 3, or is it coming in Season 3 Reloaded? Treyarch the other day put out an announcement where Craig Houston and a lot of the other Zombies guys got on and sort of discussed what the relatively distant future is for Zombies, and Craig Houston said that the next map in Berlin is going to be probably releasing in Season 4, and like, that wording was really alarming to a lot of the community where he said probably, which could be, you know, sooner than Season 4, could be later than Season 4. Personally, I don't think this is too much to worry about, to be honest. Like, maybe we'll be getting it at the beginning of Season 4, at the very latest Season 4 Reloaded. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you exactly why they worded it so oddly in that, but I do think it has a lot to do with how they have rearranged content, and I guess how they're reintroducing things for Outbreak and getting maybe ready for a second year of content, which we'll get to in a second. The point is, I think they're really taking their time on this map. Instead of releasing like a somewhat mediocre map sooner, they're going to make sure it is an absolute banger when it does release, because the way that Craig Houston's talking about it, this is the map that is like where things start to get wild, where the story and just generally the direction of Cold War Zombies really kicks it up to the next notch. I also think they expect the community to have somewhat high expectations for this Berlin map as well. Also, Craig mentioned in that interview that the storyline, and specifically in the Berlin map, it's going to focus a little bit less on the conflict between Omega and Requiem, and more so get into the individual circumstances and motivations behind characters, and I think we're going to have a few ones introduced in that. Obviously, Richtofen we could absolutely see, as well as Samantha Maxis. New piece of content that could be potentially added in either this map or maybe the following map after Berlin is a new field upgrade that was leaked a while ago, and I believe, unless the name has been changed, it's been called something along the lines of Lightning Links. Toxic Growth was of course the newest field upgrade we had as implemented in the game, but Lightning Links is another one that we haven't really seen currently, and just based on the name, it could be like some sort of Deadwire / Wonderwolf effect where you have, you know, basically a big field upgrade that can shock maybe an entire horde of zombies in place or something along those lines. After that field upgrade comes out, I'm not really sure if they're going to continue to develop even more, because at that point we already have quite a few field upgrade items in game and have a lot to select from. So as of right now, I'm not sure if there's any plans to move forward with extra field upgrades beyond that, because we do have a pretty, you know, healthy selection of field upgrades to pick from right now, but I do know we are getting at least one new one. Now here's something I'm pretty excited to talk about, and this is some new information on the basically Victus series of maps being re-implemented in Cold War. We've been discussing this a little bit in previous videos. I want to give you guys further detail on how these maps are likely to be structured and why they're going to be coming out maybe a little bit later on. I think after we get the Berlin map, this is going to be made a lot more obvious and clear, but I do believe there is a possibility that we see not only Buried, Transit, but also Die Rise in, I guess, a second year or at the end of this year of Cold War Zombies, and it's going to be a sort of recounting of events in the Dark Ether. Nobody knows this for sure, but from what it appears, Treyarch likely had a full remake of Buried, Transit, and maybe even Die Rise completely structured in BO4, maybe even with fully fledged and functional Easter eggs, but maybe they held back this DLC pack because of the reception that Black Ops 4 generally got. And based on rumors we had before Cold War came out, suggested that there was going to be essentially an entirely different mode called Green Run that wasn't exactly the round-based modes, and from what we understand, understand probably wasn't Outbreak either, but maybe could have been the very early iterations of it. These maps could possibly be tied somehow in the Battle Pass upcoming later in the future. And honestly, this would make sense if this was going to be extra support for Cold War down the road, because if you haven't been keeping up to date with COD 2021 news, there is a lot of speculation right now that COD World War II Vanguard has been delayed or just straight up canceled. Apparently the game is in really bad shape right now as far as development, and it doesn't even have a zombies mode, and there, maybe isn't a whole lot going on for it right now. This is a lot of speculation, obviously, but it may be worth considering that Call of Duty is morphing into the model that it should have been, in my opinion, years ago, where essentially they released just a really solid quality game and continue to support that for years to come and add content to that. We've seen a lot of that with Modern Warfare, and certainly with Warzone. Activision has literally come out and said that they want, I guess, as far as Call of Duty games go from here on out, it to feel a little bit more integrated. They want the mechanics to feel the same as Warzone. Instead of having a lot of this division between the studios, I can see Call of Duty just becoming really a live service model. And if that fact suggests that we're going to be getting, zombie support for at least another year to come in Cold War, instead of rolling the dice every single year about whether the game is good or not, at that point, there's almost no denying that Treyarch is certainly going to capitalize currently on the popularity of Cold War zombies and obviously continue to support Warzone and even Modern Warfare. So I think for the next few months of Cold War, we're going to be getting what was scheduled, obviously the Berlin map and then whatever's after that, and basically what they had in the game plan from day one with Cold War. We're going to be seeing all of that content hit the game, but I do think that there's a lot of unexpected content that we need to be keeping our eyes out for. So anyways, I know this was a lot to unpack. This was quite a lot of info to discuss, but I hope you guys did find it useful or enjoyable. If you did, let me know in the comment section what you think about it, and if there's any other content or maps that you would like to see in Cold War eventually, let me know what that would be down below, and if there's any, perks specifically that you'd like to return, I would also love to know your opinions. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, give it a like rating, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and I also stream zombies almost every day on Twitch. If you want to come hang out, link to that is in the description. I would love to have you over there. A great place to be, so I will see you all over there for the stream. So anyways, have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I'll see you all on the next stream or the next video. Take it easy, I gotta go, and peace out.